face off against Kanzuri next week. But man, what a match this was, and I am very pleased to have been able to be a part of it.
And same here, but now it is just past midnight on the East Coast. That means we are going to be transitioning into our 4 UTC match. We've got on the A stream, we have Chillier joining the VC, I believe, to replace yourself, Aaron. So thank you for your services tonight and get some good sleep. Because we have got Puerto Rico versus Oklahoma here on the A stream.
Is this
Welcome,
when I
Chillier.
unmute? Is this when I unmute?
I think this is when you unmute, Chillier. What's up?
Heck yeah. I love me some 11 p.m. midnight gaming hours. It's time for yet another matchup. It is the Oklahoma Puerto Rico match that we've got here, I think. Is that
Yep.
the one that we're rocking? Hell
That
yeah.
is what we are rocking. We've got 2 teams. I think we commentated both of these teams last weekend. Oklahoma suffering a very close defeat to Pennsylvania, who would almost take Virginia to tiebreaker the week after that. So Oklahoma, team to be reckoned with, to go up against Puerto Rico, getting their first team in quite some time into USC.
Impressive. We know that both of these teams had, a little bit rougher weeks last week. They had difficult matchups, so can't really blame them quite as much. Puerto Rico having to go up against Virginia, our reigning champions from last year, so a powerhouse in and of themselves. And then Oklahoma on our right-hand side here having to go up against Pennsylvania, unfortunately losing in tiebreaker to them. They are a strong team. They did extremely well for themselves, however, to make it to that point. Pennsylvania, however, missing some of their crucial figures, such as Bunny Like Money, in that week, may have partially contributed to this. However, both of them, they made it down to the losers bracket here to face off against one another. Oklahoma, from the round of 32, was our 23rd place team in terms of overall performance with a .946 performance score. Puerto Rico, a little bit lower down the list with a .77 performance score at number 29 overall. So both teams in that bottom half of performance, but Oklahoma a slightly better overall. And the average score there sitting at about 300K higher than what Puerto Rico was able to put up. So this is all going to be about whether or not they're able to push that through now into the harder map pool that we have here in the round of 16.
I think there's a few questions to be answered in this matchup. And for Puerto Rico, I think the question really is going to be their backing players, because you have Unexpected, who is expected to be one of the top 2 players in this matchup, I think. And that's going to be one of their win conditions, that he can really pop off on this map pool. But the big question for Puerto Rico is going to be their backing players, because against Pennsylvania, it kind of at times seemed like Puerto Rico, Unexpected was their only player.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we kind of expect Unexpected to be that massive performer for Puerto Rico at all times. Unexpected across basically all of history has been the standout figure in Puerto Rico. He has absolutely been the face of the entire scene there, and that's not just because he is kind of one of the few that plays tournaments actively there, or played tournaments actively there. He had a significant skill gap over the rest of everyone there. So, he is definitely the figure that you kind of think of first when you think of Puerto Rico, and him being able to put up a big performance in this match here is going to be massive for them if he comes up big here.
But then for the side of Oklahoma, they had some really strong players in their showing against PA. Bazinga's Dead, namely one of their strong players in that matchup, who was... I remember his break on that tiebreaker in that matchup was just such a close TB, just finding the break at the worst possible moment, but performed so admirably throughout the match. You have to look to him to be that star player for Oklahoma going forward.
Absolutely. Oklahoma, they had a couple of good runs on maps over the round of 32. Never at the top of the performing teams, but definitely sitting more towards the middle over everything. Fremont 1, Oklahoma, pretty middle of the pack overall. DT2 was unfortunately not their map. Lucky for them, Puerto Rico doesn't really have many double-time players to speak of here, so the fact that they were the lowest performing team on DT2 doesn't quite mean too much. Puerto Rico did play the DT2 and only beat them by about 200k, but Puerto Rico also played the DT1. Likewise did Oklahoma, and Puerto Rico lost that to them mutually by about 500k, so they definitely outclassed Puerto Rico on the double time if necessary. An extremely good precision team that Oklahoma has. Their hard rock is just so strong, and I'm very excited to see whether or not they're going to be able to leverage that in this match, or if Puerto Rico is going to see that early and potentially ban it out.
Oklahoma is a team that I think has some underrated roster depth. I shouted out Bazinga's Dead earlier, but also joined by Amaya, White Gats, Asian, XD Piranha, and Takasaki Yu. All of those players have seen usage, I think, except for Takasaki on the match against PA, where they forced the TB. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Bazinga and White Gat and Amaya as that third. That was really their big three in that matchup, and probably looking to put some damage into Puerto Rico with that again. Which is why I think a lot of pressure is going to be on Puerto Rico to really get that well-rounded roster in the lobby to fight up against that.
Well, I'm looking forward to where each of these two teams go. I think the bans are going to be very telling at the start of this match here after we go through the warm-ups, which I think we are done with. Yes, so it is Puerto Rico's ban first. I would be surprised to see them not ban a hard rock on the board here. I don't really think that Oklahoma has a strong enough hidden roster to warrant a ban from Puerto Rico on this. Puerto Rico was not super strong on Harlequin, but Oklahoma played Hidden One last week, and they were also not super strong on that. Bottom 3 team for the map overall, so plenty of back and forth to happen here, but I think the hard rock will be a strong ban for Puerto Rico, at least on the precision side.
Yeah, definitely, especially as the precision map this week is hands down the hardest map in the pool, but they're going to be going for the Nomad 5 ban, actually. So, going to be banning out the awkward alt map, one of the 2 of those in Nomad.
That is not an unreasonable ban, I think, from Puerto Rico. I don't think they needed to ban that map, and I think that might be more of a we can't play that map rather than I think Oklahoma can play it. In Oklahoma, gonna go for the DT1 as a ban. Bit of an interesting one. Maybe Oklahoma trying to ban out some of those shorter, more RNG maps that exist in the pool. Oklahoma had, again, a pretty close difference, but did lose DT2 in terms of overall score to Puerto Rico last week by about that 200k I mentioned, but they had a massive gap on DT1. So, again, from both teams, I don't know if they needed to ban those maps. I think that may just be more preference of not wanting to play it over anything, which is totally fine. But after banning that out, Puerto Rico going to go immediately for Nomad 1. It's the consistency, triple burst, spam, aim-oriented mechanics map.
Yep, it is the speed, not really, but high mechanics, yes map. Like, looking at this one, BPM is 216 with some longer bursts, some repeated triples, really straining your finger control and your stamina. The map is almost 4 minutes in length, so you're going to figure out really quickly who's comfortable on this one and who isn't, because it's just one of those maps where the stamina is just going to be tested the entire time.
I agree. This is a map that, unfortunately, I think for some of the good stamina players, kind of get gapped on the aim. There's a lot of these like stacked single tap patterns and wide angle or linear aim patterns in here that have caught out some very good tapping oriented players. So you're really looking for those strong overall consistency players that are really able to play this sort of map. We saw players like Drev earlier today, who I think he dropped the lowest 100 count in the entire lobby, but he had one of the lowest scores because he had so many misses and slider breaks, despite easily being the most comfortable on the map. And that's the kind of map that this is, right? You're looking for consistency over pure stamina. I mean, we saw Pigeon put up basically an FC till the ending of the map with 93% accuracy because double tapping all of the bursts out of that. She almost made it work for her team, but not quite.
I mean, that's just kind of a speed player moment for Drev there. Like, that's just how it goes if you're a tapping main on a map that has a aim like this one, especially with the kick sliders. And that's probably going to be where you expect to see the most breaks on this one. Going to see some early drops come out from Minato Aqua and Bazinga's Dead, who is going to be joined by White Gat and Asian for the first pick of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico going to roll out Minato Aqua, Tepi20, and Udeedle, so no unexpected on the first pick, which is unexpected to say the least.
Aha!
Aha!
We have to bring back those jokes now that Unexpected is playing tournaments again.
Dude, that's my second pun in like 20 minutes. I made one with Rhythmic RS saying that he will be Rhythmic and SS, the Nomad 4, but that was, did not go their way, and we already see some struggles coming out from Puerto Rico. All three of them finding the drops, only Minato Aqua on the combo right now, while Bazinga's Dead and White Gat rolling it forward for Oklahoma.
This is a strong start for Oklahoma here in terms of overall combo advantage. However, Asian finding a break, going to put them behind just a little bit more. Again, we've seen a lot of players struggle at the beginning of this map. Not quite as much here, though, as Bazinga's Dead breaks on more of these triples. The accuracy sitting pretty low, and there goes Asian as well, finding another miss. It's just White Gat to hold it down for them right now. Luckily, the higher accuracy is keeping the score lead on the side of Oklahoma, the 94 on Tepi20, putting them significantly behind despite having way higher combo than Oklahoma. And that break is going to prevent any score lead here unless we see a break on White Gat from Oklahoma. But Minato Aqua and Udeedle, oh no!
The overstream from Aqua there, really bad. Gonna drop the Ak and the combo, and that's just gonna send it further in favor of Oklahoma. Udeedle is there still with the big combo and decent accuracy as well into this easier portion of the map, but Udeedle gonna slider break on the easiest section of this map. Very unfortunate for Puerto Rico now. All three members of Oklahoma have the combo to take this lead really into the stratosphere.
Yeah, these breaks that we just saw from Puerto Rico are kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? You know, such high accuracy on Udeedle, very clearly comfortable. Unfortunately, like some tapping-specific players all the time, getting caught out on the aim patterns in this map. This is not just a pure burst map. This does require you to focus up and hold that consistency throughout. And the consistency players rewarded they shall be. White Gat going in right now. Full combo still remains. Bazinga's Dead. Gonna mess up the ending of that pattern right there. Gonna make things a little bit more interesting into the last quarter here. But for Puerto Rico, if White Gat doesn't find a break in this last quarter here, I think they may just be out of it. Udeedle finding another break. You cannot have them continue to miss. That's the highest accuracy on your team. You need Udeedle to be the one to find the combo here. And with Tepi20 finding a break, I think that may just end it for Puerto Rico.
White Gat taking over with Asian on the 1K combos for both of them. And you know, that just really goes to show the roster depth for Oklahoma. Despite Bazinga having kind of poor performance on this one, 93%. White Gat and Asian, 98% for both of them. Almost 700k for White Gat, and it is just another strong performance for him. And a 400k about break point for the side of Oklahoma on the first pick for Puerto Rico.
Good stuff from White Gat, only really finding a break at that slider section at the very beginning. Gonna finish this one out with 800 plus K, and Asian with a great backing combo into the ending there. Minato Aqua trying to do whatever they could with that big 1200 combo into the ending. Unfortunately, Udeedle, as comfortable as they were on that map, actually, like I said earlier, the most comfortable players on this map are not necessarily the ones to put up the highest scores because of the aim requirement in between the bursts on this map. And Udeedle, once again, is the figure to show that. 98.44% accuracy, lowest 100 count on the map, but 6 slider breaks and 4 misses overall. Same thing we saw with Drev earlier. Very, very sad to see.
It's tough, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles on these speedier picks that have the kick sliders on them, have the aim. Just a little bit of aim is enough to trip you up on a speed pick, and that's what's going to happen to some of those Puerto Rican players on this one. Now, Oklahoma able to pick themselves after getting that early break point, see what they choose to potentially consolidate.
This is, again, an avenue, I think. Oh, it's going to be the Nomad 3. So it's going to be the Earth. Oklahoma going in for the gimmick. Very understandable. Given Puerto Rico's roster, maybe erring more on the mechanic side of things. I don't know if I would ever expect Puerto Rico to willingly play this skill set. Definitely not the tech and gimmick team. They, again, one of the lowest scores on Harlequin from week 1. Did not play traps as Nomad 1, so not a whole lot of opportunity to show there. But Oklahoma, they've got a good roster for this sort of map, and they're going to try and capitalize on these more awkward picks against Puerto Rico, who don't usually go for that. It also is going to keep Unexpected out of the lobby for even longer, which I think hurts Puerto Rico more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, just keeping that star player out of the lobby for Puerto Rico is probably going to be a general strategy that Oklahoma tries to follow, because Unexpected, when he's firing on all cylinders, he is most definitely the strongest player in this lobby. But for Oklahoma, that more well-rounded roster, gonna want to keep those other players to be emphasized for Puerto Rico. And we see Takasaki Yu come in for the first time for Oklahoma. I believe this is their first map of the tournament, and Unexpected actually will be coming in for this.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Finger control? Rhythm control?
Low-key, I feel like this is the type of map. Unexpected is going to FC this with like 93%, I think.
I believe it. This is a single tap map if you're fast enough, unironically.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty low note density. Especially compared to some of the higher diffs of this map. Yeah, this is very single tappable if you have the stamina to maintain the single tap throughout the entire thing. And Unexpected used to be known for his streaming ability, so he might have that in the back somewhere here. He is alternating right now, though, so I don't expect him to start single tapping the higher intensity part of the map if he's alting right now. Early start to the rhythm here. Accuracy really going to be low for a lot of people. You know, these extra slow rhythms here, hard to kind of get down. But will anyone get caught once the more awkward wiggle patterns start to come in with the rhythm? Here we go. Oh, boy.
Oh. That is not what you want to see for Puerto Rico. Shadet and Aqua both going down early. Takasaki Yu down at 87% for Oklahoma, but still holding on to the combo. It's going to be Unexpected, White Gyat, and Bazinga holding on to decently high accuracy combos. Unexpected almost going too fast on that slider. That slow slider has caught out a lot of people in the past so far this weekend, but nobody getting caught out in this match. There goes Takasaki, but there goes Unexpected as well, and that is a trade that Puerto Rico cannot afford. Only FC is now gone. White Gyat going to continue to trade it, but Bazinga all alone now, 94%, the only FC in the lobby. But that lead has already grown so quickly. It's 300k plus for the side of Oklahoma and their advantage.
That is quite the massive lead, and it came out very fast, especially due to the accuracies all around, actually, on Puerto Rico. 94, 93, and 89. Minato, Aqua, and Shadet have not been able to hold a combo basically since the start of the map here. And with Minato, Aqua, and Unexpected both getting caught out on that slider there, Unexpected finding a couple chain misses, still sitting at that 93%. Meanwhile, White Gyat 97, Bazinga's dead, 95% FC. Takasaki Yu and White Gyat both going to find breaks right there, but again, even without Bazinga's dead FC right now, this is just an accuracy game for these two teams. Bazinga's dead, going to be able to come out with an exceptional score, the best in the lobby by quite a bit, and a 1v3 for Bazinga's dead on Oklahoma's first pick.
Bazinga Ain't dead.
No, he ain't. He is alive and well. Puerto Rico, not so much sure after that pick. Highest score, 290K on unexpected. This is just simply not their skill set at all.
A little bit of a targeted pick there for Oklahoma. And we mentioned that earlier. Not really known to have any players who are super good at this kind of awkward finger control, reading gimmick kind of map. And Bazinga's dead, just taking advantage. Could have 2v3'd. Well, I mean, it was already a 1v3 with Bazinga, but even with just White Yat and Takasaki, it's going to be a close pick. So,
yeah,
good
that's
pick
a win
from Oklahoma.
We love to see it. Oklahoma, they know what they have to do. Puerto Rico, gonna go for the Nomad 4 again. Mechanics is their game. It's long stream practice maps. This is gonna be an act battle here, right? This is, I'm not expecting misses. While we have seen misses on this map this weekend, I don't expect them. So it's act battle time for Puerto Rico. Unexpected. This is his skill set, but White Yat looked really, really good on that Nomad 1 overall. And it's about the consistency overall as a team on this map, right? I mean, the amount of 6-way FCs we've seen on this map this weekend has just been ridiculous.
Honestly, White Yat, for having the least serious OSU username of all time, has been really impressing me over these last 2 weeks. He has been such a strong player in their previous match and this one alike. And gonna look to him to put up another strong performance on the long stream practice for Oklahoma. Fear a little bit for Bazinga on this one. His stamina not the strongest, but Chillier, I think we're gonna see misses in this matchup on this map.
I think it's quite possible. This is, again, I've said it a few times today, and it's something that we kind of mentioned in the round of 16, right? You have the round of 32, where you kind of expect these, one team to have really low scores and one team to have really high scores because you have a lot of high seed versus low seed matchups. In the round of 16, you still have those high seed versus low seed matchups, but because you have a losers bracket now, you also have low seed versus low seed matchups, and on a harder map pool, which generally leads to lower scores than usual on average in certain matches because of that fact. So that's why I'm kind of with you here that we may be seeing some misses come out potentially here. But I agree with you. White Yat has been a big performer for Oklahoma here. White Yat was actually one of the top 32 performing players out of the round of 32, number 32 on the spot. In fact, the number 1 performing player for his team. Puerto Rico, unfortunately, didn't quite have any players as high. Unexpected, not too far behind, though. Number 36 overall, just barely below White Yat. So we've got one standout player on either side, but again, it's all about the accuracy right now. And if mechanics is Puerto Rico's game, then they may have a bit of an upper hand on this, but Oklahoma's consistency might help them. Oh, Tepi.
Yep, and we're seeing some act drops already coming through. Asian dropping a bit, Tepi dropping a little bit, but still nobody looking to really be spiraling out of control with no stamina yet. It's going to be a slight advantage for Puerto Rico, but really, I think the questions are going to start coming out when people start to find multiple hundreds in a row, and Bazinga, he's the player I look to on Oklahoma to maybe start struggling. I'm seeing his cursor starting to shake a little bit. You see it too? That man is struggling. That man is struggling. The act is dropping.
Both of them are struggling so much. 95
Asian.
and 96. Oh, boy. How are they? Oh, Asian's going to lose it. No, he lost it.
Over.
That's the map right there, I bet.
Puerto Rico is going to get on the board with this one. Still holding onto the 3-way 99 as the players of Oklahoma are starting to trouble even White Yat down at the 97 now, and Puerto Rico is on the board.
Asian is overstreaming this, by the way, significantly. Look at that UR bar. That is just going all over the place, but it's very consistently towards the left there. Unexpected. This is his gambit. Look at this. Highest accuracy in the lobby. Tepi 20, not too far behind. Deedle still above 98.5. And this is just full on Puerto Rico. The mechanics game from them. They had a little bit of trouble on the Nomad 1, but they are not going to let Nomad 4 slip away, and that is a 3-way FC for Puerto Rico on long stream practice maps. Asian just not able to hold on with the hundreds there, finally finding a break as he fell behind too far. Bazinga's dead. going to be pulling up an FC, albeit with low AC. White Gat, same thing. And the accuracy and that drop just putting them out of the running. Puerto Rico on the board.
For the first time in USC history, by the way, Puerto Rico has scored a point.
Wow, nice. Congratulations, Puerto Rico. And on a 3-way FC, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Your first point ever, a 3-way FC.
Super cool, especially on a map like this. This map has had all sorts of awesome narratives this weekend, and Puerto Rico's first point added to the lore of long stream practice maps in the USC history books. This might be, honestly, if this tournament ends and long stream practice maps, Neurotoxin 180 BPM is the most memorable map of the entire tournament, I would not be surprised, because it is, for all of the shit that this map might have gotten at the start of the week when this was pooled, this has been a stunner in matches.
I mean, the narrative I was kind of giving earlier, right? In all but one singular match that this map has been played in, the team that was down in points when they played it has won this map. And there's one match that has been an exception to that out of everything that has been played this weekend. So this is the underdog map.
And now we're going into one of the most picked maps of the weekend. We've got Hidden 2, the low AR ancient hidden map.
Oh boy. Puerto Rico, as mentioned earlier, one of the lowest team averages on hidden overall last weekend, actually the lowest overall, I think, and not a gimmick team. They really struggled on the Earth. Now, while the rhythms are more simplistic overall in this map, you have to factor in that hidden is now on, and that there is a finger control section in the middle of this map that, if you are not pretty comfortable, will break on. And Oklahoma just overall has been stronger on this skill set thus far.
And this is another map that takes Unexpected out of the lobby.
Yeah, that's their gambit, right? That's their gambit. Take Unexpected out, and we have a better shot at winning our pick. Oklahoma preventing Puerto Rico from consolidating. That was their own pick, I guess, but Oklahoma's going to try and prevent Puerto Rico from getting a breakpoint back. But they're out of hiddens after this.
Yeah, I do think this is a good pick for Oklahoma. Bazinga, White Gat, Takasaki. Very dominant on the Nomad 3. Now, gonna come on into this map. Tepi wants to play Nomad 4 again, understandably so.
Go for it. Go, King.
Client is going to yeet us back to the Umbrella Girl with Heterochromia. I don't know.
It's time. It's time for the reading skill set to weed out all the frauds right now. This is a very polarizing skill set here, especially once we get into the finger control section. We've actually seen a lot of players miss at the beginning section here, which is kind of crazy to me, given how simplistic it is compared to most other Hidden 2s that have ever been pooled. And there it is, Shadet finding a break at the beginning, and Shadet is one of many, and Tepi as well, that have had this happen to them at the beginning here. Unfortunately, usually that spells doom. If you're breaking at this beginning, this section right here might demolish you. Yep.
Yeah, here's the part where you expect to see some breaks. The finger control here is kind of crazy, and everyone on Puerto Rico has dropped. White Gat gonna match it, but Takasaki and Bazinga holding on really strong. Takasaki, in particular, very good accuracy, up at 99.6, but there he goes. So now it's just Bazinga, but it's an 800k lead for Oklahoma after that section, which is kind of the end of the map at this point.
Yeah, third of the way left in the map. Bazinga's dead, still holding a full combo with great accuracy. They've also made it through the hardest section of the map. They are also 1v3ing by almost 80k at this venture in the map, and Puerto Rico does not seem to be able to hold a combo even at this section. So this is Bazinga's game. Once again, Bazinga going to be missing, but I think we'll still find the 1v3 into the ending. That is the second 1v3 for Bazinga's dead on the gimmick skill set in this match. Well,
that's insane.
Is it going to be again? It's going to be close. Yeah, I think it'll be. There it is. Another 1v3 for Bazinga's dead on the gimmick.
2 1v3s. That is That's kind of an unreal stat to have. Two 1v3s. Like 1v3s, you don't usually come around those very easily. Like that's the type of thing, like if you're lucky, you'll get it once per tournament. But Bazinga's dead twice in the match, has 1v3'd Puerto Rico on a gimmicky skill set, and that's pretty unfortunate for Puerto Rico, but now they have their own pick again. Let's see if anything can match up to that No Mod 4 pick for them.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, they need to find some mechanics in here that are going to help them out. Maybe a free mod 2 pick. That's fairly mechanics oriented. We've got, unfortunately, neither of the Hard Rocks, I would say, are mechanics favored. Free mod 1, certainly not. Free mod 3, big aim map, but I wouldn't say it's comfortable mechanically. So you're basically looking at either DT2 or free mod 2. Puerto Rico would never go in for DT3 in my mind after the current status of this match. Hidden 1 is extremely similar to Hidden 2 last week, which was Puerto Rico's worst map of the round of 32. So I'm really thinking free mod 2 is probably like their most obvious pick here. I can't really see anything else that I would envision Puerto Rico picking and me thinking that they went the right route here.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you kind of run out of picks against this team that's higher seeded than you, a lot of times I like to see these teams pick free mod. Maybe something like the free mod 2 could be good for Puerto Rico, force Oklahoma on some consistency, really get to flex another one of unexpected strengths as well. But they're going to go for the Hard Rock 1. Future Candy going to be their pick.
This is bold. This is quite the play from Puerto Rico, as I mentioned earlier on from the stats. Now, it was a precision map, however, it should be noted that Oklahoma was one of the top 4 teams on Hard Rock 1 last week. So one of the best teams overall, and to pick Hard Rock into them is a bold move from Puerto Rico here, to say the least. If they are not able to snag this point right now, Oklahoma will be able to close it out on their final pick, and there is plenty of gimmick for them to do that on if they want to continue this trend of gimmick abusing their opponents here. Puerto Rico really need to be ready for this.
Yeah, just about must-win territory for Puerto Rico now. Their tournament lives on the line if they lose this matchup. See Unexpected, Aqua, and Udeedle in the lobby to go up against Bazinga, White Gat, and I assume will be Asian, but it's going to be Takasaki coming in to take that 3rd spot. This map is kind of defined by its sections. The beginning only really can miss on some of those cut streams and the kick slider jumps, and then it goes into that awkward 1/3 section into the space streams, which has been where we've seen most of the breaks. But gonna see who can FC through those. Probably White Gat to look out for on Oklahoma and Unexpected on Puerto Rico.
Yeah, those are the big players we're looking for here. Again, it's that consistency. This is a slightly tech-heavy-ish map, I'd say. You know, this kind of goes back to when we had slot pooling, quote-unquote, those light tech pick, I would say, in terms of slotting. So you're looking for a lot of flow aim and a couple of sections that are a little bit more slider heavy, some 1/3s kicked into there. We've seen a lot of players make it through pretty confidently, but find slider breaks as well. So anything could really happen on this map. There's a lot of cut streams as well in the key eyes, which can catch you if you're not ready for them. I haven't seen too many people find breaks on them yet, but anything is possible. Puerto Rico, again, they need to win this map.
Yeah, pretty much, and that early break from Takasaki is going to be good for their case. But still an accuracy advantage on Bazinga and White Gat, going to be giving them that early lead. All 3 of the Puerto Ricans down at 96 or below. But Takasaki is going to find another break, so eventually this lead will go over to Puerto Rico if that break isn't matched by a player on their squad. But there goes Udeedle, unfortunately, into this first slider section. Udeedle misaiming that one severely, down at 92% as well. That score is going to be going down in the dumps, but there goes White Gat misaiming the stream, down at 96 as well, and now Puerto Rico, Aqua, and Unexpected should take this lead back during the slow part.
It was a massive chain miss from White Gat there, and that's going to give a bit of breathing room here now to Puerto Rico, despite the accuracy misgivings. Minato Aqua gonna make things a little bit more difficult, though. Now it's all on Unexpected to hold it. Bazinga's Dead has been very consistent on the gimmick thus far, but not so much on the mechanics. We'll see if they're able to hold it down for Oklahoma. Here's one of the more breakable sections, and it's Unexpected, and that might have just broken it for Puerto Rico.
Oh, get. Okay, it's Bazinga's Dead, the only full combo in the lobby, but there he goes. But this is a full reset that I think Oklahoma's gonna be fine with. They've got a 70k lead, and when there's no combos in the lobby, that will favor the team who is already in the lead. So it's all going to be up to Puerto Rico to try and hold on during this final section and pray for some breaks from Oklahoma, because they need help from Oklahoma to stay in this match.
They need it very, very much so. The accuracy not going to be doing them any favors, but the combos are there. Udeedle cannot afford a break right there. They needed combos, but Bazinga's Dead is going to make this a little bit more reasonable now. Minato Aqua going to find a break. Unexpected now with zero help at the ending of this map. It's only 100k between the two teams. If we see a break from Oklahoma, and it's a double break!
Okay, there's a little bit of time now.
If Unexpected FC's the rest of the map, he might be able to bring this one in. And he hits the space stream. Ooh. Unexpected, what can you do for your team? He needs to FC the entirety of the ending. We cannot see a break from anyone on Puerto Rico. They need all three of these combos. It's Minato Aqua to break, though. That might have prevented this comeback for Puerto Rico unless somebody blunders the ending stream on Oklahoma. It's gonna be it, and it doesn't go over. It's by 600.
Oh my god. The last second, it flickered over to Puerto Rico, but it flickered right back to Oklahoma. A 600-point victory, just crushing the souls of Puerto Rico on that one at the very ending.
Oh my gosh, that has to be the closest score margin that we are going to see in United States Cup this year. I don't believe we're going to see anything closer. Puerto Rico with their hearts ripped out on Hard Rock 1. Future Candy almost coming in unexpected with a singular slider break. The only S rank in the lobby and the highest score. And to lose by 600 points. Oklahoma, you didn't really see it coming, but the accuracy making a difference at the last possible second. That team accuracy from them, 96% on two players and a 93 compared to only 196 and 293s on Puerto Rico. Even with a better performance as a team, the accuracy made it impossible at the ending. A tragic end for Puerto Rico as we go into Oklahoma's pick and what could be the final map of this match.
That break on the last stream from Minato Aqua is just so heartbreaking, because if he holds on that stream, that pick goes the way of Puerto Rico probably. That miss came along with an ACK drop, which is what really makes up the difference in those sub 1k point deficits. Like, any ACK drop swings that in the other way, but Oklahoma just holding on at the very end, and now they have the opportunity to close out this match on a slew of picks, and it's going to be the Nomad 2. I believe this is Keknology, right? Yeah, it's going to be Kek. 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Very long tech pick to try to close out the match.
All right. Does my mic sound normal, by the way?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Oh, and
my Discord is like deceasing right now.
we just got a raid from the B stream, which means that other match has ended, which resulted in a Tennessee 5-1 victory over New Hampshire.
Well done to Tennessee. That was a losers bracket match, I believe, as well. So unfortunately, that will be goodbye to New Hampshire for this year. And with New Hampshire being knocked out of the tournament, that will mark the complete end of almost the end of New England in United States Cup this year. We have yet to see Connecticut versus Colorado be played out. So Colorado, Connecticut, the last hope for New England in United States Cup 2024 this year. Can they make it happen? Big stuff.
Yeah, New York kind of the hope of the Northeast right now when it comes to USC placements, but that's a whole different conversation to be had. We still got a match to finish out here. We've got unexpected Shadet and Udeedle to try and keep Puerto Rico alive up against a relentless Oklahoma team with Bazinga's Dead, White Yat, and Takasaki, who have been in for almost every map this match.
Tech time.
And, I mean, on a map like this, 4 minutes of tech, this is where you need unexpected to pop off, get an FC, save the state. And that really
We've seen solo.
We've seen solo carries, but it's going to be hard pressed to find one, especially with an early break.
Well, if anyone could do it, it needs to be Puerto Rico. We saw Conrad Mitten pull out a full combo on this map to win this for Washington versus New York earlier in an exceptional performance, but unfortunately, I don't really see any player in this lobby that is nearly as strong at this skill set as Conrad is. Conrad is unironically one of the best players for this skill set in the tournament, probably. So, you know, we have a little bit of breathing room here for both teams. A couple of Bancho misses here as well. Udeedle and White Gat still on the full combos. Well, not anymore for Udeedle, unfortunately. That fast slider going to be catching out Bazinga's Dead alongside two players on Puerto Rico, and Shadet going to be breaking as well, which means White Gat and Takasaki Yu going to be holding down these scores. White Gat 97% accuracy, and Puerto Rico already 80k in the hole.
Yeah, on the back foot here, they really need to see drops come out from Oklahoma because all the big combos are gone for Puerto Rico. They need to see first U break, and the Takasaki break does come in. So now it's all on the back of White Gat. Can he hold on for Oklahoma here? And that break from Udeedle, not going to help Puerto Rico. But Unexpected and Shadet have brought some combo back, but no longer for Shadet. No longer for Unexpected as well. But White Gat is finally going to drop, but for Oklahoma, Bazinga's Dead is there to pick up the pieces.
Unfortunately for Puerto Rico, White Cat actually going to be Bancho again. Man, Bancho does not like Buzz Sliders today. And with that having been Bancho, well, Oklahoma has a significantly wider margin here than is possible. White Cat literally a microsecond from breaking on that slider. Oh my gosh, that was so close to finding a fast slider break on that linear, but again, this is halfway through the map now, so any break could still change the fate of this pick. Puerto Rico, they have a hell of a lot of ground to cover, and with Udeedle finding a break, and Shadet Unexpected once again left with no help. Another double break from his teammates on this, and this might be the end for Puerto Rico. 1 point and done for them. 800k, Takasaki Yu finding a break, but Bazinga is dead, is matching Unexpected. Anything he can do right now is being matched with higher accuracy, and White Gat goes uncontested in their full combo at 97% ac.
And another great showing from White Gat, probably poised to put himself back in the top 32 performing players for this weekend. Another very strong performance from him. And Oklahoma gonna escape this losers round 1 to go into the quarterfinals weekend.
Big stuff from Oklahoma today. They had a good match. Puerto Rico doing better than they have in previous years. Again, getting their first point on the board ever. They should be happy with themselves here on that triple FC. But White Gat should also be very happy with themselves. This is a great performance from them. Poised to potentially get the third 1v3 for Oklahoma of the night. And if Puerto Rico continues finding breaks, it's certainly possible, but White Cat finds a break right at the ending here. I think potentially going to still get the 1v3. Unexpected is going to be the one to prevent that from happening here with his combo at the ending. 280 to almost 300 into the ending here. Can White Cat pull out The 3. Oh, an unexpected finds a break. It might actually happen. The 1v3 isn't possible into the ending. It's all on Whitegat. I think it's going to be possible. Puerto Rico once again. This is the last point, down and out, and yes, by 10K, Whitegat with another 1v3 for Oklahoma, and a 5-1 win for them to advance to the next round of the losers bracket. Oklahoma will be our lucky contenders to face off against Team Arizona. Puerto Rico, sad as it is to say, it will be eliminated in the round of 16. One of the best performance we've seen from Puerto Rico in United States Cup to date, and they should be pretty happy with that.
You know, Puerto Rico, one of those teams, fringe whether we see them with a team or not, so always happy to see them in United States Cup showing up. They got their point on the board on the long stream practice map, which is, you know, you love to see that, but unfortunately for them, this is going to spell the end of their United States Cup run to go out in the round of 16, losers round 1, and we thank them for playing on. For Oklahoma, gonna be moving on to the quarterfinals weekend into losers round 2 to face
Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona.
It's Arizona.
That's a tough matchup for Oklahoma next week. Arizona, an extremely strong team overall. They only have fallen to the likes of Texas, a top 3 seeded team and the number 1 performing team from the round of 32. So a tough matchup for them, but maybe things looking up for them a little bit. But Oklahoma, pretty scary after today. There's no telling what could happen there. We've got some hella good matchups starting to form for the round of 16 across the board, both in the winners bracket and in the losers bracket. We already have Texas versus New York set up in the winners bracket. We potentially also have South California versus Virginia and Florida versus the winner of a Maryland versus Oregon. And in the losers bracket, Washington versus New Jersey. Round of quarterfinals losers bracket, by the way. So some crazy matchups already formulating here for the quarterfinals, but round of 16 is not over despite it being almost midnight central on Sunday here. We have 3 more matchups, or 4 actually, from between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Keep your eyes peeled for that. Weekend not technically over. We've got Monday night, and I believe we might have Tuesday night matches. Not positive.
We do.
Oh, yes, we do.
We have a Tuesday at 1 UTC. Will be Connecticut versus Colorado. And then we have Tuesday 2 UTC, Connecticut, Colorado, as well as SoCal versus Minnesota. Tuesday at 1 UTC will be Oregon versus Maryland. Do not miss that match. And Wednesday at 30 past midnight, so 00:30, will be Michigan versus NorCal. And that will conclude the round of 16 at that point. Showcase will be tomorrow, however, despite the matches going through there at 23 UTC. So please be on the lookout for that match. But that's the end of our weekend matches. We'll be excited to see you for our weekday matches starting tomorrow night. That has been it for us today. I have been Chiliarper, joined by Miles for these close matchups this evening. Thank you to everyone who has played this weekend. My condolences to the teams who have been knocked out. Thank you for coming out for United States Cup this year once again, and congratulations to the teams that have advanced to the quarterfinals weekend. We're going to take a break until tomorrow, Tuesday, 1 UTC. We'll be back for Maryland versus Oregon. Do not miss that when we come back, and we'll see you then.